Yes, yes. Welcome everybody. Full Blast Radio on a Thursday, September 1st. Summer is officially almost over, but then again, it's still getting hotter. But hope everyone's out there maintaining. Shout out to the tribe. I see Antoine's here early. Good to see you. Good to see everybody in the chat. Welcome, welcome. So, got a dope interview today, y'all. Dope interview. We about the culture, real culture of this music, hip hop, jazz, funk, soul, all of that good stuff. So um, I want to introduce first intro our guest, Tasha Digital, is an accomplished marketing strategist known for breakthrough results with more than 15 years experience in marketing, media, and publishing. She is most skilled at connecting brands with a new generation of tech savvy consumers. Also passionate about preserving the arts and culture, Tasha Digital collects vinyl records from all genres and time periods and curates what she finds in online music communities, where she's known as Analog Lady. And when she's not working, she's networking at many events, concerts, and cafes, writing along the way. And we're going to talk about all of that stuff that she's done and more stuff that she will be doing in the future. So I just want to introduce y'all Tasha Digital in the building, aka Analog Lady. Welcome. So glad to meet you. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, yo, very,
Um,
very welcome. Honored to have you on. Like I was telling everyone that, we like to I really like to have content on my channel that's, speaks to like the culture, not the gossip stuff, clickbait stuff, just the, real good stuff about our music. And I'm so glad to have you on and talk about, your journey and what you've done and what you're still doing.
yeah, this is for the purists.
Yes.
This summer is really exciting for us. There's a lot of good music coming out every single week.
Right.
I know because I've been busier than usual.
Hmm.
Um, you know, every pretty much every artist that I've, you know, rubbed elbows with over the last couple of years are putting out music right now. They're on tour.
Yeah.
They're getting a lot more visibility right now this summer. So
Right.
I'm on tour right now with a couple of acts. One being a live band. That tour is going to kick off soon. That's why I'm not announcing the group.
Okay.
Um, I was just at the Drumwork Festival in Buffalo, New York,
Mhm.
with Conway the Machine.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's his
That's
label,
awesome.
Drumwork Music Group. Shout out to Buffalo 716.
Yes. Do.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Buffalo over the last 20 years. That was the first college I went to away from home.
Okay.
So I lived in Buffalo for a while, and then I started working with Griselda in about 2015. So I just recently worked the Drumwork Festival.
Nice.
That was
Yeah.
amazing, fabulous. Wale and Jeezy came out. Lloyd was a special invited guest. He came out
Mhm.
on the Buffalo waterfront. So that's just one of a few things that I've been working on this summer. I'm also helping out with a documentary on Black barbershops in
Ooh,
the US. When
nice.
I was in Buffalo, I filmed an interview for the film with a celebrity barber.
Mhm.
He works for Griselda, and he talked about his start in cutting hair.
Mhm.
And now he's working like he cuts hair at like a state of the art salon in Buffalo.
Nice.
Really nice area, really like nice venue.
Mhm.
And so we set that up, and then I flew right back out. So whenever I go to other cities, I usually have some creative projects lined up, whether it's film music, or even tech. Like I do a lot of different things around those areas.
Nice. That's real nice. Yeah, shout out to the whole Griselda movement. I love that, these guys came out and, you know, they just brought back that era, the 90s
Hmm.
era, but they're younger, and
Yeah,
they're
you
dope.
know what? They drew me in with the imagery,
Hmm.
the content in their music.
Hmm.
It's very controversial. It's violent. It's drug ridden,
Hmm.
but it's also a reflection of the times.
Right.
And a lot of the things that happen in Buffalo go unreported until there's, like a widespread overdose.
Exactly.
So the music is a reflection of that. It's also a reflection of a long-standing history of socioeconomic changes. Some of the statistics, I'm not sure how accurate they are, but they reflect, a large amount of illiteracy, and then also the drug use and crime rate. Like the
Right.
crime rate in that area of Western New York, which is Buffalo, Rochester, and Niagara Falls. The crime rate up there is competing with the crime rate in the boroughs.
Oof. Wow.
So the difference is the location.
Right.
Um, that area upstate is in Western New York on the borderline of Canada,
Hmm.
and then you have the boroughs. The boroughs are the boroughs
Right.
downstate. They call it downstate from upstate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that should tell you. So I'm from Mount Vernon, New York.
Oh, 914. Shout out to
Born and
Grapp
raised.
Lover.
Shout out to Grab Lover,
Hmm.
Pete Rock,
Yup.
CL Smooth. Uh, oh my gosh, I can go on and on. Heavy D and the boys.
Yes. Heavy
You know,
D. Rest in
my
peace.
rest in peace, Heavy D.
Legend.
Mount Vernon Public Library has a hip hop collection dedicated to. It's in Heavy D's name. They have books,
Nice.
like you could find like hip hop books written by hip hop authors, like
Hmm.
50 Cent's 50th Law is in there. And when
Okay.
you open a book, there's a sticker with Heavy D's picture, his name,
Oh, that's
his
beautiful.
dates. So it's a growing collection at the Mount Vernon Public Library
Hmm.
with hip hop memorabilia. It could be CDs, cassettes, VHS, books. Everything is available to browse and borrow.
So, real quick, I just want to say something about Mount Vernon. I told Grapp this every time I talk to him. They needs to be a Mount Vernon documentary, Netflix, something.
We're working
Deep
on
talent.
something.
Okay.
I'm working with Grapp right now.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm working with a few people in Mount Vernon to like preserve the history of what we've been doing, whether it's music, art, culture, education,
Hmm.
religion. Mount Vernon is 4 square miles. The population is over 70,000, predominantly Black, over 400 churches in this little town. The New York Times wrote about that because why do we have all of these churches in this little town?
Yeah.
Like, so we make these major news outlets, not always for good things.
Yeah.
But then again, we're so closely connected that, one some of the previous and current people in office are related to someone we know or related to us. That's how
Mm.
small
That's how small it
this
is.
town is. Tight knit, it's small, it has its own identity. When
Right.
we go other places, like we rep, so
Hmm.
I grew up in Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, Yonkers, the Bronx. Those areas are very, very closely connected.
Nice. Wow. It's just such a small world too. I met Grapp through here. I was doing a mix with his brother's music versus Eric Sherman, like a little kind of versus type thing. And he came in the chat. People were like, "Is that the real Grapp Love?" I was like, "Yeah, that's Grapp Love." And ever since then, we've been connecting. He's been on here, just talking, shooting the breeze, doing
Yeah,
interviews.
shout
It's
out to Grab Lover, I and I.
all right, all right.
Um, who else is down with them? Jolo.
Okay.
He has a vegan restaurant in New Rochelle, two restaurants in New Rochelle.
Shout
He
out.
has his own garden. So like I said, this is bigger than hip hop. This
Yeah,
is about the community as well, and all
mhm.
of this stuff is connected.
It's
So
all connected.
yeah, so I'm
Uh,
working with Grapp right now on some like Mount Vernon historical preservation type of projects, exhibits. We're
uh,
gonna be doing a few things around like the history of Mount Vernon.
oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, so when how did you get started as far as because like you said you from Mount Vernon, um, how did the music start? Being ingrained into you. I mean, obviously you had those people around you, so you can't go wrong with having Grapp, Pete Rock, Heavy D around you. But
Yeah, they were very influential. They shot the Troy video in Mount Vernon. Like, CL Smooth was living in a property owned by one of my childhood friends. That's how small Mount Vernon is. And some of that video was shot in that house, you know?
yeah,
So Pete Rock and CL were very like influential on me.
mhm.
Um, I started playing the alto saxophone when I was in second grade, you
Wow,
know. So I used to play in the school band. We would have a marching parade every year. We would have to wear these matching polyester
yeah,
uniforms.
yeah.
But I played the alto saxophone, and I've always had a thing for like horns, especially in hip hop production. So
Oh yeah,
to me, I hear horns. You could be saying the grimiest of raps, but it sounds like a love song to me.
with the horns, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Something about
So I got my start playing music young. I spent a lot of time underneath my grandmother, my aunt. So my grandmother had all the vinyl. She's from New Orleans.
okay,
Um, I'm the first generation New Yorker in my family, so you
oh,
can
okay,
you can imagine what that's like for me.
yeah, yeah.
You
And the
know, the
jokes on
culture, the culture is just different.
right.
So my grandmother has her vinyl records, Al Green, Aretha Franklin,
Yeah.
Barry White, Marvin Gaye,
Oh yeah.
the greats. She had
Essential. Yeah.
she had a lot of records in the stash. And then my aunt brought home a CD player. This is in the late 80s. And so she had her CDs with the booklets and the credits. So
Mhm.
I learned what a sample was. I learned what a,
Right.
so I've been like reading album credits.
I love that.
Yeah, for a
Album
very
comes
long
out,
time. I
you
can
like
read.
turn it around. Who's on the back? I want to see who they talking to.
Yeah, and I was able to make the connection between my grandmother's generation of music and like hip hop and R&B and
Mhm.
stuff like that. As I got older, I got more into jazz, like which is in line with me playing the saxophone.
Mhm.
So I'm into that. I can read sheet notes and stuff like that
Oh,
and
nice.
play. I do eventually want to play the saxophone like more actively on
Mhm.
songs and then also live with, you know, performing acts, whether it's a hip hop artist that has a saxophone feature.
Mhm.
Like I want to be out there. I want to get those BMI credits.
I love seeing that. Like I saw the Nas when he did the whole orchestra in DC with the band. I just love seeing the hip hop with the live band. I just think it
Yeah.
brings a
I
fresh
got to
feel.
hear Nas perform Illmatic with the live band
Yeah.
at Radio City.
Hmm.
I got to hear, which is a huge venue. I'm used to going to smaller
Right.
places, like
Hmm.
so. At the Blue Note in 2017, Prodigy started his residency there, so he
Oh
performed
wow.
his first solo album with a live band. So I was there for the first installment of that. Rest in peace,
Yes.
Prodigy. This is actually
Legend.
legacy wear. This is a Hennessy jacket. It's a spin-off of Prodigy's Hennessy jersey in the Shook Ones Part 2 video. So shout out to Gutterwear for this
Out to gut away.
collectible item right now. I had to represent.
No, definitely. And I got pictures that I got from the website, and that's how I did want to ask you. Segue into Prodigy. This picture right here, was that taken at the event?
Yep, that was taken at the event. This was after Prodigy got off stage. Now you can see there's a lot of people behind
Oh
us.
yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
a very tight venue, so um after it was over, of course, people wanted to, you know,
Take
salute
it.
him. He
Oh
did his
yeah.
thing.
Hmm.
He got up there in a 3-piece suit, and he
Killed
just, yeah, he killed it. He ran through the whole album from like
it.
top to bottom.
Ah,
He even did Quiet Storm as well. Big Twin was there, Twin Gambino.
shout out to Twin Gambino.
Um, and Chinky was there. She was singing on Can't Complain. But it was a great moment. It was a great moment in time, and
Yeah.
you know, um, yeah,
He is missed. I'll tell you that. I do tributes whenever it comes around, and it's most. It's like one of the most watched stream.
yeah.
And after it's done.
You know what's so eerie
Legend.
about that show that I just mentioned?
Hmm.
There's a song called Veterans Memorial, and
Yeah.
at the end he started shouting out all of our fallen soldiers, Big Pun, Biggie, Pop. He's shouting out all of these people. I can't even watch that clip because it's so surreal.
Yeah. Yeah.
He left us. He left just a few months after that.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. I just got chill for real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Veterans Memorial. Man.
Hmm.
Legend. He's a legend for real. He's forever missed. Um. So yeah. So leading into like you said, I see the attachment, like you said, with the playing the horns, grandmother, the vinyl. So it was already in you, but you don't know it at
Cable
the time.
TV. So it was the saxophone and the band.
Hmm.
My grandmother and her vinyl, my aunt and the CDs, hip hop, R&B, even some throwbacks, and then cable TV. Now we have cable.
Hmm.
So I'm watching Rap City after school, and
Yeah.
I was watching the video for Shook One's Part Two before it became like this huge hit record all these years later. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I was watching this stuff in like real time.
Hmm.
And that song grew on me because like they were standing outside of Queensbridge, and I grew up in the projects in Mount Vernon,
Hmm.
and it was relatable to me. It was
Right.
familiar to me. So I gravitated toward that. Like my aunt used to take me to the Wiz to buy music.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I have like I have like the infamous album on cassette. I still have a lot of CDs and tapes. People get in my car, they're like, wow, you have a whole CD booklet. I'm like, well, the only place I have a CD player right now is in the car.
It's in the car. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
digital.
exactly. And if someone calls me in the car, then I can't hear my music. So I have my CDs.
Nice.
I got my son rotating them.
Mhm.
So it's like a history lesson too.
Right? Yeah, showing him like, look, this how it used to be.
Nah, he puts me on to stuff. He's 9. He's
Okay.
9. He comes from two parents that are both orators. You
Nice.
know, yeah, he he's a product of his parents.
So
You
yeah,
know,
he has it in him too. I bet. So when did you start collecting vinyl? Like when did it start like, oh, I'm just gonna buy a record, and then it just kept.
well, you know what? I moved around so much in my 20s that I really didn't have much.
Okay.
I mean, I had furniture, but I didn't like. I would have collectibles from trips that I took, like little souvenirs and stuff. But I didn't like have. I had my old music collection. Like I've always had the CDs and the tapes, and then I like when I lived in Brooklyn, when I lived in Bed-Stuy, I had like a crazy DVD collection with all of the old black films from the 70s. Like I
Oh.
can't tell you how many times I watched Claudine. Like you
Mhm.
cannot borrow my Claudine DVD ever.
Yeah.
Like my
Yeah.
neighbor, I had a neighbor in Bed-Stuy. He was like visiting from a visiting student from Toronto, and he was comparing the welfare system in Toronto to the welfare system in New York City.
Mm.
So I said, listen, I'm only letting you borrow my Claudine DVD because we live in the same building.
Right.
So
You know you're gonna
I'm
get it
like,
back.
this is a pretty accurate depiction of like the welfare system, the history of it, and how intrusive and degrading that it is, that it still is. But
Yes.
even back then, you had social workers coming into the home and checking cat, like very intrusive, you know. So that film highlighted a lot of the, not only the socioeconomics, but how does a black couple thrive in that situation where, you know, Claudine is a young single mom. She has 6 kids in the film. James Earl Jones, her love interest, he's a garbage truck driver. He's got kids of his own too. So they're trying to like fall in love and have a blended family, but she's on welfare and they want to put him on the line for some of the things, some of the benefits that they had given her. You know, so I allowed my neighbor to borrow this to write his dissertation for his PhD.
Wow. I mean, there's a lot of people that, you know, they say, you know, they lend something out, you never see it again. You know, and it's always the thing you want back.
Well, I don't have a problem like giving, you know why? Okay, so you asked about the vinyl. I started really like taking my vinyl collection a little bit more seriously about 10 years ago. Right. I started inheriting it. Like this is basically when the whole analog movement took off online. Like I was recording interviews at vinyl record stores and I was collecting along the way. So I was just documenting my digging journey and I decided to share it online. And that's kind of how this all took off. So now I have a vinyl subscription service. So I have a few people that signed up. I had a lot more subscribers during when COVID first hit because people were home and they kind of wanted, like, it was a quarantine gift. Basically. So they sign up for a monthly subscription and I put together vinyl packs for them that I mail out, usually like 3 records. And they give me like an overview of the type of music they like and what they're looking for. And that forces me to kind of like go through my collection, see what I have, you know, see what's kind of low. I'll even go shopping because I'm looking for stuff too. So I'm looking for me and for my subscribers. So everything is like, you know, it's just curated monthly.
And is this on your Patreon?
Yeah, this is on my Patreon. And if somebody is just looking for one record, they don't want to subscribe, they can go to my website. It's analoglady.com/shop. And there's an option for them to like make a deposit and then I can give them a rate for the album they want, basically. You know,
I've been dropping that in the chat for you. So,
what's that?
No, I said I've been dropping the link in the chat. I haven't.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I can't see it because I think they tell you while you're on StreamYard you shouldn't be streaming on YouTube, not on the same device. I don't know. I just started using it.
A loop or something like that. Yeah.
Right. So I can't see the chat right now, but you have it in front of you, so that's cool. I appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. So before, I'm sorry I cut you off. You said that about the
yeah, so they can I accept so I also put out playlists whenever I'm inspired. Usually it's from a conversation I had with my mom. You know, my mother's young. She grew up like she was an adult in the 80s. Like she was outside in the 80s. She would go to a lot of like parties and stuff. My mother makes clothes, so like her and her sister would make custom outfits for like Heavy D and the boys. And and the Sprite commercial, it's on YouTube. Like my aunt and my mom put that whole ensemble together for them.
Nice.
So so I had like fun mom and aunts and stuff, and I got to like spectate, you know. I got to see DMX freestyling at a backyard barbecue when I was like 12, you know, because he was born in Mount Vernon, but he grew up in Yonkers. So he has a lot of family in Mount Vernon. So we just so happened to be at the same backyard barbecue that day. And then later on, I was like, that was DMX. You know what I'm saying?
Can you clear something up for me? Just the other day, they were talking about DMX, and it said born in Baltimore, Maryland, or Mount Vernon. And that was the first time I heard Baltimore even put in there. And I said, I thought he was born in Mount Vernon. So there was some kind of
Yeah.
discrepancy saying they wasn't sure.
There's no
where he-
discrepancy. If you read his autobiography, it's called Earl.
Mhm.
That's in probably chapter 1 that he was born in Mount Vernon,
Oh, good.
New York.
Good.
So
Thank you.
yeah, rest in peace, DMX.
Yes.
But
yes.
I had a chance to like be around artists from different generations, genres. Like one of my aunt's closest friends, he would manage artists, singers, you know. So we would have people in and out of the house all the time, like creative
Right.
people. And I was also like into music. I was playing the saxophone. I was going to a dance studio. We had a recital and stuff. So I was into like performing arts, and then I was heavy into like hip hop. Once I started seeing like hip hop videos and freestyles on TV, I was so fascinated with the wordplay. And I was already like a gifted writer in school. So I'm just fascinated with literature.
Right,
and sometimes I hear hip hop and I'm like, I bet that artist doesn't even know what kind of literary technique they just used. You know what I'm saying? So
that's how connected you were with. Yeah, that is so dope. There was someone I wanted to ask you about the before. I definitely want to talk to you about the you co-producing this documentary. That I feel that if I know I didn't see it, I want to see it like almost immediately after we're done with this interview. For Weldon,
I'll give you access. I'll give you access. So this film is called Digging for Weldon Irvin. He's also known as Master Well. So he's a jazz and funk musician, Nina Simone's band leader, Nina Simone's organ player. He wrote To Be Young, Gifted, and Black for Nina Simone, and that was performed by so many other soul artists at that time. Weldon taught Q-Tip how to play the piano. He was the source of a tribute album by Madlib.
Dope producer.
So we had about 40 plus interviews in this film. It's a full length, full feature documentary about everything around Weldon, from his family life, early beginnings, to his music career, collaborations. He worked with a lot of people across different genres and time periods. He used to perform at New Eurekan in Manhattan. So that's how he got to know a lot of underground hip hop artists. He's featured on Most Def's Umi Says.
Yes.
He's playing the organ, and he's in the video. Playing the organ in the studio. So Weldon, he's to borrow from Roy Ayers, Weldon Irvin is ubiquitous. He's everywhere. You know, whether you know it or not. Like Jay-Z's Dear Summer song that came out of nowhere. That's a sample of Morning Sunrise, you know. And that beat is just timeless. The original and the samples that I keep hearing. Shout out to YNX716. He just dropped a freestyle on the Dear Summer beat. So
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so Weldon lives on forever. I got to work with the director, Victorious DaCosta. He's very, very serious about the culture, preserving it, documenting it, and just keeping the integrity about it. You know, we fully self-funded the film. We did a fundraiser online. We raised 20% of the budget in 30 days on Indiegogo. It was a pretty widespread announcement that we made when we dropped the first trailer. So it got picked up on Vibe, OK Player, and you know, top Black music publications wrote about this film that was coming soon. They posted the trailer and a link to the fundraiser, and that's how we were able to, you know, get this film. It was already in production, but the fundraiser helped us move forward a lot faster.
Right.
So the film that's been screening at like festivals, we did some in-person festivals, and then during quarantine we would do like pop-up screenings online. You get like a day pass and you get to watch it as much as you want.
Oh, good.
So people are able to see it, but the director, Victorious, informed me. Just I saw him a few days ago. I interviewed him on camera. That's about to drop on my YouTube channel. I'm starting to post content more regularly.
Yeah.
You know,
What?
StreamYard is dope because you can go live from anywhere.
Right.
And it'll go straight to the YouTube channel. So I worked on that. I used that feature a few days ago, and then I have the interview with Victorious coming up. He's the co-owner of Legacy Dumbo. It's a vinyl record store in Dumbo, Brooklyn. You know,
Okay.
and there was so much foot traffic. I only interviewed him for a few minutes, but like 8 people walked in.
Nice.
You know? So business is good over there.
That's good.
He's working on some other projects. He worked on a documentary about Yusuf Hawkins. Rest in peace to that brother.
Yes, indeed.
The documentary aired on HBO. So he was a producer for that. Okay. But Victorious offered me the opportunity to work on the Weldon film as a music supervisor. So I came on to select and license the music that we were going to use around Weldon's story. And I got really creative with that. And then I also ended up co-producing the film, like setting up interviews and things like that to support the film. And we did a lot of this. I did a lot of my role remotely, you know, from my computer, you know, researching the music and emailing people like to set things up, you know, putting calendar invites out there. And then I know other people that worked on the film as well that I worked with on other projects. So I'm excited about where it's been so far and where it's going to go. It's timeless.
Yes.
You know? So and we need more of these. We need more of these projects to protect the integrity of our history. You know, I don't trust a lot of these gatekeepers at all.
Yeah. Lifetime, for one. I never forgave them when they tried to do that Aaliyah thing. I was like, you guys just went real left. But they couldn't license the music anyway because it wasn't approved from her family.
Well, shout out to TV One. Shout out to TV One. They're pretty solid with their like unsung.
Yes.
I've probably watched most of their episodes. So they preserve the integrity around the culture, the performing artists, and also I think they highlight films or other genres of other mediums besides music. You know, they have different programming now. But shout out to them and all the other platforms that are pure, you know, that are not funded by these big machines. And don't get me wrong, there are some platforms up there that are machine operated that still give us some pretty solid content. But as a listener, as a fan of the culture, it's up to you to discern what type of content you want to consume and from where. You know, like I might not be a fan of a particular podcast, but there might be one episode with someone I want to hear from. So I'll listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now we live in an age where you can kind of pick what you listen to. Like YouTube is the new cable TV in my house. You know, I wake up to it. I hear it during the day, whether it's interviews, music, like it's an amazing tool. Like I'm on it a lot every day.
Yeah, I don't even pay for cable. I pay for internet and that's it. And like I said, YouTube. I turn on here, then I have my little streaming things. You know, if I want to watch something on HBO Max or something like that. But you're not tied in. And same with radio. You know, radio, you had whatever you turn on, whatever they played, you listen to it. But now you can listen to anything you want, anywhere you want now. And it's been that way for years. So that's what I like about the beauty of like you said, the purist. We get to put that in the forefront when they don't, and that's what I
Mm.
like.
Absolutely. You know what? My formula is very simple. I listen to so much music. I hear something new every day that I never heard before.
Yeah,
It could be a song I heard before, but
yeah,
I'll hear like a riff or some type of something that I didn't, some type of element that I didn't hear before.
mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh shoot, the Bonita Applebum drums.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, yo, those are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll create a playlist just off those drum breaks. You
Wow.
know,
Okay.
that will inspire a list. Like I'll
Mm-hmm.
share a song with my mom and she's so good about it. She'll listen to it and she'll be like, wow, that was my jam back in the day. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll start a whole playlist. Like I remember being at her house and I hear her singing, give me what you can't get back. So
Yeah.
I know my mom is not listening to Sosa.
AZ. Yeah.
So yeah, so that made me go and look up, you know, the sample that they used.
Mm-hmm.
But she's been inspiring a lot of my playlists lately, just conversations we've
Nice.
had, or she'll hear a song and it like Bonita Applebum. She hears that and it reminds her of like an interview that I did in San Diego at a record store. Like
Mm.
as I'm walking in, you can hear Roy Ayers and you can hear that song as I'm walking in. So when she hears samples of it, she thinks of that interview and she'll message me about it. So
Wow.
you can listen to my playlist, analoglady.com/playlist,
Oh yeah.
plural. Yeah.
I got
Oh
it
wow,
pulled
look
up
at
right here.
you.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So these are the latest playlists. I've been promoting I'm a Lady FM. That's my little pseudo station. It's actually I'm a mother effing lady FM, but
Okay.
we're gonna we're gonna keep it PG tonight. So this playlist, this is one of my recent ones. This one was inspired by Bathgate, actually. He's an MC from Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
He just put out a new single and a new video for it. And the sound, this it's the same beat as Nas and AZ, How You Living.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, I
that's the
love
beat
that.
in there. And then, you know, it goes into more sample
Mm-hmm.
chains like that with Nas and AZ, Give Me Yours. So then it's followed by Eye Level, the version my mom was singing. So
Right.
this is like this playlist is a mashup between my mother's taste and my taste. Some of the songs we used to listen to on the radio in the car together, her hot ass car
Mm-hmm.
back in the day.
No AC.
Summers in New York. So a lot of my content is nostalgic. Is, you know, a lot of it is from a time period before my time. I'm just very nostalgic.
Right. And I see the connection, like you said, how you made the connection. I'm living in Glenn Jones.
I just dropped a new playlist today. If you keep scrolling,
Okay.
this one right here. This is Kenny Burke, Rising to the Top. The
Yo.
name of this playlist is called Keep On Believing. All the Dreams Inside of You. That's Kenny Burke.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Dougie Fresh, Keep Rising to the Top.
To the top. Mm-hmm.
LL, Around the Way Girl.
Mm-hmm.
CL Smooth and Pete Rock, Take You
Take
There.
you there. Yeah.
You can't see it right here, but it's Mary J. Blige Love No Limit remix with Kid Capri. So it's a few joints on there.
Nice.
So you can listen to them. I put my playlist across a few streaming platforms. YouTube is free. You don't have to have a subscription.
Mm-hmm.
Apple, I think you need a subscription for that. And
Yeah.
every now and again I'll put it up on Spotify depending on who requests it. But I
Right.
try to put, you know, and these are free. It's
Mm-hmm.
just enjoy it. I'm happy when people tell me that they discovered something new or they hadn't heard something in a long time.
Right.
You know, like feel good vibes.
So what's this one? Summer Heat. I see Shine.
Yeah. So Shine
Next.
recently performed at the BET Awards with Sean Combs.
Mm-hmm.
And
Love.
Shine rewrote the first verse of Bad Boys, and it's all about Belize. He dropped the Belizean flag behind him during the performance. It was a huge moment in hip hop history. And I've been following Shine's career from the very beginning. I was in high school. So I used to play the tape for his first album in my car. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so anyway, I've been in contact with Shine for a while. I've been keeping up with his movements, music wise, and now he's running for prime minister of Belize.
Right. Right.
So this playlist came out at the top of the summer, just at the end of June when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
The performance inspired me to write about his life and the beginning of his like hip hop career and him coming of age as a man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as a man of the African diaspora, he was raised between Belize and East Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Right.
So I decided to start the playlist off with Bad Boys with Barrington Levy. That was Shine's first single from his first solo album
Mm-hmm.
that was released. That single dropped at the end of December in '99 on the same day as the shooting that happened that night. So
Mm-hmm.
Bad Boy had already had these videos and songs ready to go. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a machine that was already ready to go. Now all of a sudden you got Shine
Yeah.
going to trial, you
Yeah.
know, and his mentor. I don't want to say co-defendant because I don't know if Sean Combs was his co-defendant, but that was his mentor, and they were separated at that time. As a matter of fact, when Shine released, when the first album was finally released, after they dropped all the videos for it,
Mm-hmm.
they put out the debut album for Shine, and he was already sentenced and serving his time in the maximum security facilities in New York State, you
Yeah.
know. So I started off with that song because it was very timely at the moment. Number two, that's China Streets. She put out a project, but I love her song. It's called Eve's Remorse, and you know she's saying the egg doesn't swim to the sperm.
Ah.
Open and
Okay.
bar. So
Mm-hmm.
she's very much about that life. Like she tells it like it is. Sadat X put out a new song, FNTG.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that inspired another playlist that I have. So I have playlists that are not up there. They're just ones that I share with my peers
Right.
because of like sample clearances and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Some lists you'll see, some lists you won't see.
You want, yeah.
And then the sage that's burning or something's burning in that fourth picture, that is my homegirl Alligator Alfred. She put out a song called Murder for You. That's produced by um Shakim. Shout out to Shakim from
Mm-hmm.
Washington Heights. So there's a few more songs on there. There's Japreem Magnetic. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out to the God from Divine Sea. Um Shay Noor. I interviewed Shay Noor in Buffalo. She's on
Okay.
that playlist.
Yeah. Shout out to Shane Norris. She's
Shout
dope.
out to Shay Noor. She just opened a barbershop in Buffalo.
Oh.
So
Nice.
much success to her community and business endeavors, back to school drives. Like
Definitely.
this is bigger than music. This is
Yeah.
about preserving our communities and just bringing hope back to where we come from.
Yeah.
You know. So Prodigy is on there. His estate is putting out new music right now.
Oh yeah. We're waiting. We are, and just I saw Havoc post something I think a few months ago saying about everything
Yeah.
kind
Well,
of
there's
like
a
cleared
single
up.
out. There's a single and a video out. It's called "You Will See,"
Mm-hmm.
featuring Berto Rich, I think, the singer. Then there's a song on my list by Prodigy's daughter, Santana Fox.
Santa Fox.
So
Yeah.
she put out some music and videos around the same time that Prodigy, his estate, put out some music. So, and then from there, my boy from DC, Alim Bilal, I interviewed him at the Smithsonian a few years ago. I put his song on that list too. So what you're looking at right now is the Nautilus playlist that I put together. This was inspired by Bob
Bob
James.
James. Yes.
He's a legendary musician, and his music accidentally inspired a lot of sampling of
Yeah.
that one record. So this playlist has it's just a time capsule of all of the songs that have used different elements of Nautilus.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a clip of so my playlist vary depending on the platform. If you go on YouTube,
Uh-huh.
you'll see actual music videos in the queue.
Okay.
So you can watch my playlist
Right.
in a way.
Right.
You can listen to it in your car or on your Bluetooth speaker through Apple or Spotify or whatever. So this particular list, I'm going to put this on YouTube now that we're talking about it. The first video is going to be Bob James playing Nautilus on the roads. That's on YouTube. That's going to be the opener. And then we're going to go into the video for Daytona 5. There's a video for almost every song on this list. So I'm going to create that. It's going to be like a mashup video playlist. So what else is on there? Let's go.
Let's go. And real quick, Nautilus, you got to, I think I posted on my channel now.
There you go. I'm such a effing lady FM.
Oh, yep.
So,
there you go.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. So this one was inspired by my very first interview at a record store in San Diego. The record store is named Tasha's Music City. Tasha's my first name. So I was at a conference out there. I do marketing and PR for major companies, and they fly me out all the time. So I'm used to going to other cities and just setting up shop. And I was setting up, activations at conferences. And then when I would be done for the day, I would go see what's in the area. I found this record store named after me. I took my camera and I was in there recording for hours. And I turned that footage into like a 5-minute video. And that's kind of how like I started connecting and finding more and more people that preserve the culture or activists or, and as part of the African diaspora, I talk to people every day overseas, people in South Africa, Nigeria, like the UK, like black and brown people are everywhere, but so is imperialism. So there's that.
Exactly. That video,
so this playlist right here is basically the soundtrack for that interview I just told you about.
Oh, okay. All right. And that's the one that's on your YouTube. Because I saw one.
Exactly. So if you look at the buttons, the YouTube link, that'll take you to like the visual playlist.
Right.
And then actually it'll take you to the interview. So you can hear the soundtrack in the interview. But if you click on Apple, it'll take you to the Apple list.
To that list. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, y'all make sure y'all go to our website. The playlist is everything is there, and it's you see it, everything.
Yeah, this one right here. Rest in peace, Chucky Thompson.
Yeah.
A lot of his production from the 90s. He's incredible, DC based producer, the Hitman, and just everything. So I had to pay homage to him, and there might be one more up there. I got to give it up to Queensbridge. Shout out to DJ LES. This whole playlist is dedicated to his production over the years. You would be amazed at his production throughout his career. So, and then I also did one for Salam Remy. There's so many that I did that need to be added to this page. But the cool part about curating these playlists is that I get a lot of input from people I engage with online. So I'll literally add 4 songs to a playlist, add the cover, and share it online. Like, this is what I'm cooking up. Let me know what you think. So the link is there. So if they click on it now, there's only going to be a few songs because I'm working. I'm in between deadlines. But throughout the day, I'll be adding more and more songs to it. So if you see the link later tonight, it's going to be a full playlist,
Right.
So people would tweet me like, oh, add this one, or you remember this one too, or something in the line of the theme of the list that I'm creating. And it's all things that inspire me in that moment. I'm like, that's a playlist right there. I want to hear these songs in this order.
Right. That is dope. That is so dope. And I was gonna say, LES, and I know he's a dope producer. He always gets overlooked because
he's a DJ. He's a DJ too. He's been popping out a lot more lately. I think they're out in Cali right now, like Infamous Mob, LES. So they're recording, shooting videos. Everybody's back outside right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Classic album.
Yeah.
Not
So
anymore.
I put out I designed merch
Mm-hmm.
for myself
Oh shoot.
or
Let's see. Oh, there you go.
yeah.
Yeah, I got there's a real nice shirt I want to show. I'm always somewhere in between Minnie Riperton and Mobb Deep. That is so dope. Yeah, I'll go
Oh,
cop this shirt. This is a dope shirt right here.
yeah, you know what? That's just me fighting with my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love Minnie Riperton. Her music is so pure, and for me, it's very soul moving.
Yes.
Especially if I hear it in the morning, it's like
Mm.
come to my garden.
Yeah.
If it's that vibe. So but then there's Mobb Deep, and I told you about the impression they left on me. So it was just something that I always say to people, and I just tweeted it one day, and it kind of did numbers. And a friend of mine was like, "You should put that on a shirt,"
Yeah.
and that's what I did. The first person I sent it to was Havoc, and I gave him a shirt. So
That's dope. And there
yeah,
goes your shirt for your logo.
this is
Dope.
my logo, Analog Lady. This was designed by Phyllis Iller. It wasn't designed specifically for me in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
but I asked her I found her art on Tumblr years ago.
Okay.
And I asked her if I could use it to represent my brand. So she came in and she added the custom lettering to it with Analog Lady and then the website link underneath. This is like my first and most popular shirt. So there's hoodies out there. Every now and again, I'll do like a drop, different
Right.
colors. I think this
Okay.
winter I'm gonna do like the all white hoodies, and
Mm-hmm.
just there's only gonna be like certain people with that one. I also design clothing. I have some sweaters coming out this fall that
Nice.
I'm excited about. I do a lot of collaboration merch campaigns. Like I'm rolling out some things that I'm excited about. A couple of books I'm working on, and just launch campaigns for like major acts, that I have
Wow.
coming up in the pipeline. So I'm
Definitely looking
excited about
forward to
it.
it.
So anytime I get an opportunity, I expand on it. So I
Right.
might come on board doing one thing and end up doing a few more, and then just bringing in other creative people I know that want to work on different projects.
Right. Well, I know I can't wait to see more of it. Definitely. I know you'll drop them on your website. The new merch that you're coming up
Yeah,
with.
that's
Definitely.
the thing. Right now I only have like two pieces of merch up there, but I'm
Mhm.
gonna start adding other collaborations that I've done, like the sweaters I'm telling you about. They've been
Yeah.
designed for years. I just never put them
Wow.
out. Like I
Right.
have a collection. I have a collection that I'm doing inspired by a Wu-Tang member's lyrics. So
Mm.
I'm
Nice.
combining the lyrics with like, these Afrocentric visuals that go with the words. You
Okay.
know, so a
Okay.
portion of that will go to a local library in Staten Island.
Mhm.
I'm working on a hip hop and tech campaign with a rapper that always talks about tech, even from 20 years ago. So
Mm.
I'm working on a tech campaign with him where we're going to be talking about how tech provides a way out of no way, having these skills.
Yeah.
So when he came out with certain lyrics, I was learning how to code when I was in high school in the 90s. So, like,
Mm.
it's just dawning on me now. Like, when that came out, like, I was getting into this.
Right.
So, I'm always looking back. I'm a nostalgic listener. I'm a nostalgic person. So,
Stevie, where did you get this picture? This is the
okay.
legend. Every time I play Stevie Wonder on my show, bubble wrap Stevie. You got to bubble wrap Stevie.
Okay. For some reason, every time I do share this picture online, people at first glance they think it's LL, but it's not him.
Oh
It's
shoot, because of the hat, the
yeah,
Scully.
the do rag. And
Yeah.
so this picture was taken inside of Sweet Chick on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. This was 1 o'clock in the morning on a weeknight. I had just came from an album release party
Mhm.
on a rooftop, and I wanted some grits, and I was
Okay.
looking at the Sweet Chick menu, and I went in there, I placed my to-go order, and I look in the corner, and it's Stevie Wonder and his wife ordering food.
Unbelievable.
So I walk over to like his I don't know. I don't know if it was his bodyguard or it was someone. Out of respect, I walked over to that person and asked them if it was okay if I got the picture with Stevie.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I said, Stevie, is that you? He said no, and he laughed. You know. So yeah, I sat next to him and we took the picture, and Knocks Me Off My Feet came to mind immediately. Shout out to Donnell Jones, because you know, Donnell, I knew a lot of Stevie Wonder stuff at the time, but Donnell came out with the Knocks Me Off My Feet cover song and single in the 90s. So that kind of, you know, but Stevie Wonder is an amazing songwriter, producer, singer extraordinaire. He did a lot of work with Minnie Riperton. You know, I'm a huge fan of hers. They got to work together a lot. Stevie was married to the singer Sarita, and they did a lot of music together. They did a lot of songwriting, like Ashford and Simpson. Right. So it's like it's the hip hop, and then it's the love that grows within the music between two talented people. You bring those two forces together, and then like Black music history is made. You know,
the world.
Yeah. So I love Stevie Wonder. I met Roy Ayers. He was performing at the Blue Note. I've been to the Blue Note so many times. Oh my God.
Legend. Did my research.
I see. I like it. This is dope. So I met him at the legendary Blue Note. He's a professional. He starts 8 o'clock on the dot. He starts. I had just found a parking spot and I ran. As soon as I walked in, the beat drops.
Wow.
So I actually went there with this attorney. He's an entertainment attorney that I know. We went to that show together. And while I was there, the director, Victorious, reached out to me and said, hey, can you get in contact with Roy's people so we can talk to him about the film? Because he knew Weldon. So after the show, I know the artists, after they get through the crowd, they go back upstairs. So the restroom is next to the dressing room. And, you know, I walked up there and we started talking, and, you know, I was talking to him about the film. Roy Ayers was asking me about my birthday, where I'm, you know, where's my family from? We were talking about like the sun, moon, and stars. I think his mother's birthday is like near mine in July. So it was a dope moment, you know.
Conversations,
yeah, he's inspired a lot of hip hop concepts, album cover concepts, songs. He produced Can't Turn Me Away, the sample Forget Money.
Oh yeah.
He produced that for Sylvia Stripper. Man, listen, he's incredible. It was great meeting him. But yeah, so I've met everyone from the greats. He's in his 80s. He tours every spring.
So tours, yeah.
Bob James, he's on tour right now. A lot of the dramatics, the stylistics, a lot of these. Shout out to the Force MDs.
Yeah,
these are Cameo. They're on tour. So a lot of these musicians are still alive. They're still active.
When Fire just performed, my aunt and uncle went to go see them down here in Georgia. Yeah, so they're still doing it too, man.
Yeah. So it's an exciting time to be a music fan. I'm a fan first. I just get so lucky to work with people that I'm a fan of on the creative and promotional side of things. I'm working on a couple of books right now, collaborations. I'm inspired by the autobiographies out there that are basically co-written, edited, and supported by someone like me, an investigative journalist in different industries, even outside of music. So I do a lot of research.
Make sure, like you said, make sure it's authentic. You know, Miss Badu. Where was this? I love Erica Badu.
You are in the vault right now. So this was in Brooklyn. This was in Brooklyn, by the waterfront. It was a cold winter night. That's why I had my hair wrapped up.
Okay.
But she was DJing with Q-Tip.
Okay.
And yeah, so afterwards, she walked through the crowd, and for the life of me, I don't even remember what she said to me. Like, we just have this picture now. So she's a major influence on just the Black experience, being a woman of this industry. She's beautiful.
Yes.
Her energy is powerful. So I've always admired her creativity, and then also what she does outside of music. She's a healer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Erica is a doula. She delivers babies.
Yes.
She's a force.
She's like
So,
you. Her energy is like beyond anything I've seen. Like,
yeah,
phenomenal. She's phenomenal.
Yep.
She's gonna continue to be phenomenal. People were asking which verse you want to see over again, and I want to see her and Jill Scott.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't catch all the verses, but me being a hip hop head from New York, and being a hardcore fan of the Locks, that battle was legendary. Like,
yeah,
it's so many quotables from that event, around that event. To this day, people say today's price is not yesterday's price.
That was the pinnacle. That was hip hop. Like, no, forget what you wearing, the jewelry. No, get in there, grab that microphone, and rap.
Rap a cappella.
Yup.
Rap over the instrumental. Jadakiss, he gets better with time. I've been a huge fan of his. When he put out the first album, I was getting ready to go to college. I was in one of the videos in a club that they shot it in.
Wow.
That's how small Westchester is. Mount Vernon, Yonkers, New Rochelle, then the North Bronx area. All of that is connected. You can drive on the street to get to the next town over. That's how close it is.
This one. The legend, Kool Herc.
Shout out to Kool Herc. This was actually in Mount Vernon. My homegirl was in a fashion show on 4th Avenue on a rooftop somewhere. And when the show was over and I was walking out, I bumped into Kool Herc. So we took a picture.
Into legends.
It's a law of attraction.
I think you're on that path.
We're on the same frequency, because I'm such a huge fan of the elements of the music. It's like the it just moves me to my core, and then I get to share that feeling with other people. I just come across music that I like, and then I tell people I know about it, and that's it.
Connection is strong, yeah. Marquise has a question. He says, "What's your 5 favorite vinyl records?"
Oh my gosh, I hate when people ask me questions like this.
Me too.
But I'll tell you. So the ones I have in rotation right now, I have a lot of sealed copies of like collector's items. I'm looking at one right now. It's Ready to Die on 45s. So it's
I got that
9 45s. Shout out to Easy Moby.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Architects. Right. So that's one of my favorites over there. What else do I have that's never leaving? Rasa, that's a spiritual, like, jazz funk album that came out in the 70s. If you push play on Black Rob, Can I Live?
Oh yeah.
It came from Jay-Z is on that. The Dear Summer Radio Freestyle is on that. The Locks are on that. So yeah, that's a legendary hip hop beat. I have the original album to that 2 times over. I keep finding Rick James Cold Blooded, so I got a few copies of that. And the crazy part is every time I come across it, I think I'm so happy about it. And I'm like, wait, I already have this. I come home and I'm like, I already have it. So when I'm packaging my records, that gives me a chance to look through what I have. Because when I'm shopping, I grab what's familiar to me. I look at it, make sure it's good. But I don't get to like read the liner notes. I don't get to like read the story about the project or the lyrics. I don't get to even see that stuff until it's getting ready to go out. And then I'm like, wow. So I'm appraising my records before I decide to just put them in a pack and, give it away, basically.
Well, there's certain records that you got, and when you got home, you were like, "Oh, I got this already," because it was just something that.
Yeah, I just told you, Rick James, Cold Blooded.
Yeah.
That
Besides
happens
that
to
one.
be a lot. Anita Baker, Rapture.
Okay.
Shout out to Anita Baker. I've given that album to so many people. I always find it.
Yeah.
What else? I find a lot of Teddy Pendergrass,
Okay.
Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind and Fire, Kool and the Gang. So I've come across the same artists and records a lot. Unfortunately, Black music is undervalued. And a lot of the times I go to these record stores and sometimes they don't have room for these records. So they got to get rid of them, So I just buy them in bulk. I either give them away or sell them as part of my subscription. So me and my friends, we DJs, we trade records, I might, and then artists now, they're putting out physical copies. Shout out to Akil Ali from Mount Vernon. We grew up together. He's doing his thing. He put out some physicals. He gave me a vinyl record he did, a CD that he did with YNX 716. So I appreciate the physical copies. And you know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll take it and send it to a DJ that I'm cool with. Like, yo, check this out. Like, because we appreciate tangible experiences, So even I'm always at the post office, so I'm mailing out vinyl, but I'm sending out merch too. So it could be I'll send out like a record, a t-shirt, and now we have these 500,000 jerseys. I started the 500,000 legacy campaign with his family and friends. Dom Kennedy and Hit Boy decided to name themselves 500,000. And when I go searching for the 500,000 from Albany Projects, I got to sort through their stuff first. So I decided to launch IamHalfAMil.com. And up there, you'll find his biography, his albums. He did a documentary on the story behind releasing his first album independently. So that the link to watch that documentary is on the website too. And now we partner with Gutterwear to release these 500,000 jerseys. So it's been getting a lot of love. Like it excites me. And then I have a close relationship with 500,000's son. His son is a junior, Jason Jabbar. He's an actor. He's on BMF. Season 2 is coming soon.
Okay.
Me and him have the same birthday. So we just have a really cool bond. So music is like that. These people are like my family, The
connections they do. It runs deep. I see it. I see it. Everything that you talked about from the people you ran into, it's like that's your path.
Thanks for paying attention. Just to give everybody a little backstory, I just met you on Twitter.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I saw it and I said, if you would be so honored to come on and talk about your musical journey, I really appreciate. I don't know much time you had left. I just wanted to ask you about any tours. I know you mentioned you're going on an upcoming tour. Is that later on at the end of the month?
Well, it's the first of the month today, so I flew out for work 3 times in August. None of it was planned. None of it was in my summer plans. It just back to back to back. So every other weekend in August, I was on the road, either doing PR for live events or, securing media placements. making sure that reporters and journalists come out, they're accommodated, they have the appropriate passes, wristbands. I'm introducing them to people that they need to be interviewing at the event, and stuff like that. So I'm a mentor to a lot of the younger creative people that I get to work with on different projects. Like, just positioning them appropriately. Like, hey, every artist that comes off this festival stage, somebody needs to be talking to them on camera or your recorder. So we got a lot of that's how we get a lot of media placements, for these projects. I do marketing and PR for a multicultural media research company. We study consumer behavior around like streaming and television habits, spending habits, their values, what makes them support a business in their communities and such. So I secured over 100 media hits for them in 6 months.
Nice.
So these are press releases that I'm writing and sending out to journalists and reporters, and then they're creating their own stories based on what they write about and the data that we present in these studies. So these studies are like 70 very visually engaging slides with information that you can, turn into a story. And it's incredible, like the power of storytelling.
Yes.
So I get super creative around that. You come to me with an idea, I'll come up with the brand story to tell around it. I'll come up with a launch campaign idea. During the quarantine, I hosted virtual launch events for books, music. I had my birthday party was on Zoom. Shout out to DJ Evil D from Brooklyn. He was our DJ. It was me and my girl Diamonds Inc. Benzo. We had our birthday party together on Zoom. So I just get super creative. It doesn't matter what the medium is. We'll figure it out. We'll reach the target audience, get them engaged, secure interviews, media placements, and then also positioning merch, music, whatever you have. I design websites. I create online stores. 1, 2, 3. We get something up and running, and then you can add on to it from there. I find that people tend to overthink this tech stuff because they don't really understand how it works. But I'm like, this is all you need. It's a simple formula. Your logo, a photo, maybe a video, a description of what people are looking at, a field for them to sign up for the email list. That list is worth so much. That list has so much value for the life cycle of your business. It's going to keep growing. And that's what I do for brand new entities, music artists that are trying to grow their fan base, trying to grow their listeners and increase reaching new fans. So I do a lot of cross promotion. I work with influencers on different campaigns. So it depends on the industry that I'm working in. I do like business forecasting reports, industry, state of the industry reports. Who are the major players? Right. How is your business going to stand out for them? How long is it going to take us to reach a certain financial goal where we're doing more than breaking even? So just a lot of forecasting and predicting based on the numbers and information that's out there, and then just that person's real world experience and connection to what they're promoting, selling, whether it's a business, product, service, or music.
Man, that's so much information that's needed in that what you just said. And I definitely myself would definitely want to talk to you about connecting with my brand as well.
Yeah, I got you. I just need to take a nap first.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I know. I can burn you out. I know but I know you're constantly busy.
But I'm a mom. I have a young son, and I'm hands on with him. I do the school drop off and pickups. We're together. We're a team. So
that's good.
That's first and foremost. And then the music is always playing. It's not playing now because we're live, but as soon as we hang up, it's back to the party.
Oh,
you know
what I'm saying?
Me too. It's a constant party. So
yeah. Well, like I said, I definitely appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Definitely. Everyone, Follow Analog Lady. You see it strolling on the bottom. Twitch, IG, YouTube. She's gonna be putting more content on her YouTube. And you're a Tosh Digital on Twitter.
No, I'm Analog Lady on Twitter.
You're Analog.
Tasha Digital it's like it turned into a backup account, but that's where I used to share a lot of my marketing and techie type stuff, like memes, and because I do speaking engagements at conferences, I do training workshops. Like I did a social media workshop at Samsung. So I just travel and network a lot, and then I try to close the tech learning gap. I'm doing some campaigns with like hip hop and tech as well. I'll be involved in like hip hop artists that are household names and putting them side by side with a lot of these youth and community projects that we have going on.
Definitely. Yeah, I pulled up some flyers real quick. I saw a lot of the summits you attended, and I know you're doing it. You're doing the damn thing. Marketing specialist, and so I like to see that the people know that you know exactly what you're doing, and all this, like I said, is on her website. Check it out. She's I know there was times like you wish you were cloned, you know, so you can. While the clone is doing the work.
I need because I always tell people I'm like a one person show on my side. Like I collaborate with a lot of people,
right?
But like the day to day, like the admin stuff, I dumbed down my proposal. I used to send out like 10-page proposals. Nobody's reading that. Now my proposals are 1 page.
Straight to the point.
That 1 page is the start of a new business relationship.
Right.
We start working on like a monthly retainer.
Okay.
And with that, I work X amount of hours. You can get access to any of my services unless I have to go through like a third party vendor. But I'm very flexible. I work with a lot of community based businesses, people that make body and skincare products from scratch. Shout out to Mama Wise. She's a DJ. She's a healer. I work with her. I work with a health and wellness center with multiple locations, and the nurse practitioner over there, she goes to other countries and she trains nurses on how to use state-of-the-art equipment, because you'll find that a lot of countries surrounding the U.S. have U.S. health problems now. You know, heart disease and death by gun violence. So the state of their healthcare system is parallel to ours here. So just having a sister go to another country and like train the nurses and she's done this before in like Jamaica. So shout out to Lalit Medi Spa. They're in Long Island in Brooklyn. So
shout out. Big shout out.
It's refreshing to have a sister that's very knowledgeable about just health issues that affect our community across different generations. You know, it could be just making sure your vitamin levels are right. She does vitamin infusions. She does vitamin D injections. A lot of us are vitamin D deficient. She does like all kinds of therapies and stuff too. She has all of the state-of-the-art equipment. So I've been working with her for years. You know, so I work with a lot of health and wellness practitioners. I've worked at hospitals doing their marketing and PR. Publishing, disaster relief, you know.
Right.
I can go on and on and on with. I've been in my career professionally, like on the payroll for almost 20 years. So I've been independent. You know, I've been independent, and I love it like this. I get to work with who I want to work with, and being able to bypass their gatekeeper.
Exactly. Be your own boss.
That's a fact.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, giving the time to showcase what you're doing, what you've been doing, what you're still doing, and anytime you want to come back, promote anything, feel free. Feel free. This platform is
excited. Open. I'll see you again at the top of the year, probably.
Definitely.
To make some more announcements.
Okay.
I'll be back for sure. And I'm gonna send you some merch too.
Oh, I appreciate you. And me as well. I have Full Blast shirts and stuff. So yeah, I will definitely get some out to you as well. Definitely appreciate you. Everybody, appreciate y'all tuning in. Tasha Digital, Analog Lady. Like I said, you can find her on all platforms. And thanks again.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
You too. Peace.
Peace. Word, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming through. Don't forget, tomorrow is Friday, Full Blast Friday. I might be away, but if not, I will be live tomorrow. If not, y'all have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I'll be back Sunday. Monday, we have our song-a-thon that's going down. We haven't done it all summer. It's 70s, 80s, 90s, all genres of music. So come through on Twitch. Marquise, thank you so much. Pharaoh J, Anton, my mods, Robert Gant, Stu Dog, good to see you. Everyone in here that's tuned in, I appreciate y'all. Sneed Mobile Tech. Yeah, y'all, we gotta anybody that's preserving our culture, what we grew up on, and you see where it's taken her. She's doing more. It turned out to be more than just collecting vinyl, helping each other. It's big. It's bigger than hip hop. And the fact that she knew Grapp loved her because Grapp saw the tweet and he said, "Yo, that's my homegirl. She's from Mount Vernon." So he put me on for the interview. So I was like, "Oh shoot!" And then like I said, she mentioned that she's from Mount Vernon. It's like, yo, it's a small world. Everyone is connected some way, somehow. So, and you're just finding dope people that are connected to other dope people. It's dope. So, this is a blessing. So, yeah, y'all don't forget to go support, man. Analoglady.com, merch. The documentary, I want to see Welding Irving. Here's the link to the trailer. When I connect with her again, give me access to watch the documentary. I'm gonna see, maybe we can do a screening, maybe on Twitch or something like that. But I'll reach back out to her and see. But definitely check out that trailer that she co-produced and had her hand in a lot of the musical aspects of this documentary. It's dope. When I watched the trailer, I was like, yo, I want to watch this. So, dude's a legend. Weldon Irving. If you don't know, Dear Summer, the Jay-Z Memphis Bleak joint, award tour, Sister Sanctify, which Stanley Turrentine covered, and then that's the one that KRS-One sampled in My Philosophy. Like, he's from hip hop as well. So definitely check that out, y'all. And I'll see y'all on the next one, y'all. Peace.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to the Hip Hop Alliance. Hip Hop's first official union. We fighting for rights. Workers' rights, labor rights. Y'all know what it is. Fair wages. Let's hit them. Who's really speaking? speaking for the artist. Everybody knows the music industry is heartless. Knowledge reigns supreme, not what an artist on a chart is. It's about fair wages and royalties. Let me start this, spark this. It's about cultural self-reliance, corporate defiance. We got this down to a science. It's called the Hip Hop Alliance. We take it back to stop the violence. For 30 years, I've been the culture's guidance. You can't deny this. I clean pupils when they open their eyelids. In a blink, I teach kids to think. That's what I did and do. Reaching and pulling out the culture inside of you. With the truth inside of you, no one can lie to you. It's time to unify him, her, you, and I. Do your part to save the art. Don't be a stupid guy. Front, you can try, but it's your time you waste. And we're starting an alliance against corporate exploitation.